Ladies and gentlemen, Senator Adam Schiff just got caught lying about all of the fraud and waste going on at USAID. And no, I'm not kidding. Now, folks, I have to say, this video is going to be a crazy one, so make sure to stick around to the very end because I do not want you guys to miss any of this. Because what I have to show you guys today is pretty much going to blow the lid off of all of this USAID stuff. So hey, without further delay, let's get right into it. Starting with Adam Schiff's defense of USAID.
The moment you say it's okay for them to violate the law to shut down this one agency, you have said it is okay for them to violate the law and shut down anything. Anything. If they can do this with USAID, they can do this with the Department of Ed. If they can do it with the Department of Ed, they can do it with Head Start. If they can do it with Head Start, they can do it with Medicaid. If they can do it with Medicaid, they can do it with the Social Security. They can do anything.
Do you guys see what he's doing? Adam Schiff is trying to fearmonger by saying that if Elon Musk and the DOGE starts cutting all of the fraud and waste out of USAID, that before you know it, Elon Musk might cut Social Security. Like, just how stupid does he think that we all are? Give us a break, Adam Schiff.
Shutting down USAID or pausing its work will have devastating global and potentially irreversible consequences, but the biggest consequence will be to us.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that Americans will be suffering in the absence of USAID. It seems like we weren't actually getting a whole lot out of it in the first place anyway. But okay, now speaking about USAID's foreign recipients, I want to show you guys this recent video from the president of Rwanda. Take a look.
Even though it will hurt you as Rwanda, which depends on some US aid to fund your healthcare and development.
I think from being hurt, we might learn some lessons to, to do things we don't do that we should be doing. This is why I'm saying, yeah, this aid thing, which I've never been a friend of it, much as I've been a beneficiary of it.
Wow, that's curious. So there's the president of Rwanda saying that cutting USAID will actually be good for them because now they'll have to become self-reliant. I don't think Adam Schiff will be happy when he sees that video. But now, before we move on, guys, I do want to say real quick, if you enjoy the videos, if you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing to the channel because it really does help a lot with my daily struggle against the dreaded YouTube algorithm. But okay, let's move on and talk about why Elon Musk and the Department of Government Efficiency even targeted USAID in the first place.
So let's turn quickly to the funding freeze. How does that fit into this effort? There was a memo, as we know, to freeze all federal funding, federal loans and assistance. We saw the reports, the days of chaos.
Now, that memo that he's talking about was actually an executive order that Trump signed that froze all foreign aid for 90 days. But what if I told you guys that that 90-day freeze on foreign aid was actually a trap that President Trump specifically set to catch fraud and abuse? You know what? Take a look at this.
How U.S. aid got to the top of the DOGE list, I think, is one of the most interesting aspects of this story. So if you remember, on January 21st, Trump decided he would do a bunch of executive orders, right? And one of them was to pause foreign aid for 90 days. Okay, this seems reasonable. We got to take care of our country. That was part of his mandate for becoming the 47th president of the United States. So a couple of days later, the White House said, hey, this U.S. aid leadership is trying to circumvent the executive order. In other words, they're just going to keep paying people even though the executive order came out. That alerted the DOGE team. So Elon confirmed this on X. He said, quote, all DOGE did was check to see which federal organizations were violating the president's executive orders the most. Turned out to be U.S. aid, so that became our focus. And according to NBC, security officials at USAID tried to prevent DOGE from even getting into the building or accessing the systems. To your point, Antonio, the person probably who's got the most to hide is the one who's going to fight the most. Over the weekend, DOGE gained access to USAID, and then people started tweeting out all of this, crazy spend and things that any American who looks at it and says, wait a second, if we haven't fixed the goddamn water in Flint, Michigan, why are we sending money to Galway or in Ireland to do a DEI musical? This makes no sense.
Did you guys hear that? So Trump's executive order that froze foreign aid for 90 days was actually a genius-level trap, and USAID walked right into it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we voted for President Trump. All Trump had to do was set the bait and then wait to see which corrupt government agencies took the bait first. And guess what? It was USAID by a big margin. But you know what? If I had to place a bet, I'd bet that there are tons of other smaller agencies that are just as corrupt, if not more corrupt than USAID, that the fine gentleman at the Department of Government Efficiency will be moving on to next. But okay, let's see what else Senator Adam Shifty Schiff is mad about.
Once again, this is an effort to prepare to raid the Treasury, to take the resources that belong to the American people and use them to fund a massive tax cut for those who don't need it. And the idea of freezing that funding and inhibiting that recovery so that there can be just a bit more money for Donald Trump and Elon Musk and his allies is anathema to my constituents. And it should be unacceptable for all the rest of us.
So let me make sure that I'm understanding all of this. President Trump is cutting out waste and fraud from our federal budget so that he and his billionaire friends can make money? Because I'll tell you what, it seems to me like it was actually all of these corrupt Democrats that were the ones making money. And you know what? In fact, take a look at this. As reported just earlier today, Trump asks Congress to end tax perks for billionaire sports teams owners and hedge fund managers to cover middle-class cuts. Notably, the move would hurt his own 2024 mega donor, Miriam Adelson, who owns the Dallas Mavericks. So folks, not only is Trump not making money for his billionaire rich friends, but guess what? He's actually ending all the tax cuts that they currently have. He's actually making his rich friends, his campaign donors, poorer. So everything Senator Adam Shifty Schiff said is just a flat-out lie. But hey, are you guys particularly surprised? Me personally, I feel like every time Senator Schiff is talking, a lie is coming out of his mouth. But ladies and gentlemen, despite the ongoing progressive meltdown that's happening right now, this country is genuinely becoming great again, and it's going to keep on happening regardless of how much people like Adam Shifty Schiff kick and scream. You'll notice that every single thing the Democrats are accusing the Republicans of doing right now, they have actually been doing themselves. And so hey, it's just like they say, when you point your finger at someone else, guess what? 3 fingers are pointing back at you. But hey, between you and me, it sure seems like the Democrats' reign of corruption is coming to an end. They've been caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and now it's time for justice. We are finally making this country great again. But hey, I think that's all I've got for you guys today with this one, so please make sure to drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think down below. Please like the video if you liked it, and consider subscribing if you enjoyed the channel, if you enjoyed the videos. It really does help a lot. Thank you all very much for tuning in, and of course, as always, stay safe.